Hey guys, this is Holistic Health with Harry, and I'm sure many of the people that are going to watch this recognize the face across the pond over here. Brother Sage, how are you?
I'm doing great, Harry. I'm so glad to be doing the same line of work that you are and bringing a message like this to the planet who really needs it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we go way back. We go many years, and you've been doing this a lot longer than me. But we have interesting shared history. Not only do we drink pee and obsessed with it, we happen to have written books about the
Really.
subject. Yeah.
And this is a 10-year-old, I mean, excuse me, 10-minute old aged urine.
Oh, still aged, isn't it then, technically? Okay,
It,
that's good.
yeah, it got this far, it's aging. Yeah.
So we do all kinds of age urine. You coach people now just on urine therapy and go through courses. You've written books. You've written. I know your first one I bought. I think I even bought your second one. Yeah, I've got two of your books on urine, and now we can even talk it later. Now, I want to talk to you about another, which people that know me know that I'm talking about, and you've got two too. So let's go to the beginning. Well, I say the
Okay.
beginning. How did you get into urine therapy?
Now, how I got into urine therapy is similar to how I got into Zen Cleanse. it was it was mentioned in a book that was written by one of my spiritual teachers, Leonard Orr. And Leonard Orr was a big fan of this big guy, Babaji, and he and many people know him as Shiva. And so when I got the hint that Shiva was sending me a messenger to tell me I should imbibe in my water, I'm in. I mean, it wasn't an intellectual process. I didn't have a disease I was thinking about. It was just like, okay, it felt totally right. And so I took my first drink.
Yes. Was this back in the 60s?
Come on, give me a break. 1990,
Okay, I got you. In the 80s, we were in Olenador. Yeah, so when you first took it, I might have asked this question to you on the interviews we've done before, but I can't remember. Did you feel an instant difference, or were you ready into health and didn't notice much of a difference? Did it feel intuitively right, or did you get a physical shock when you first took it?
it was more like an instant wake up. It was like the water version of plant medicine. All of a sudden, things
Yeah.
things started lining up. The dots are connecting. That's what happened after my first cleanse. All of a sudden, things started making more sense really quick.
Yeah, same with me. I think that's what wakes people up to it, because I'm sure you've seen people that say, "Oh, urine doesn't do anything for me." And like, yeah, okay, so you've drunk fresh urine after being on distilled water by which is fruits, isn't it? Fruits is distilled. You've been fruitarian. You're doing the raw vegan thing. Of course, you might not feel a massive change with fresh urine, but like people like me and you, there was a huge difference, and that's what woke us up to what I think is why we promote it, me and you, so heavily. It changed our lives, right? You really transformed our consciousness.
It was you who dropped the idea in my head, Harry, that urine is the savior.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I never forgot that because the word savior literally means save I am or to save yourself. So it's a great metaphor and a teaching demonstration of your water given from you to you has everything you need to sustain and restore life.
Yeah, exactly. And I love watching your geekiness because I can relate to the amount of ways that we can do it. And I've seen your pictures with you in baths. I've seen you do the nose. I've seen you do the neti pots. I've seen you do all kinds of things that I don't do it all the time, if I'm being honest, but I've been through those phases, especially for the book writing of the aged. I was doing everything. So yeah, once you know, you know. Is that how you teach your courses? And how do you run your students through if they're completely new, for example, and completely new? Do you get any newbies? Like they don't know, they don't, bit hesitant.
I get the newbies are sitting on the fence.
Hmm.
They're not sure whether to drink or run. They're not sure if you really know what you're talking about. Are you a nutcase? But they see that I'm not flinching. They see that I'm actually serious about this, and that has been integrated into my life and my lifestyle. And so they're more willing to give it a try. There was one gal at our retreat last 2 weeks ago in Portland. Some of your followers might have been noticing that I've been putting
Yep.
Shivambo retreats around the country. We're lining up Arkansas and Puerto Rico for 2023.
Oh wow. Cool. Yes, Matt Senna was there, a couple of them. Yes. So when you was at the when it was at the retreat, what was you talking about? Were you talking about the protocols, the benefits, all these kind of things, how to integrate into your lifestyle?
Everything. We had people who were newbies. We had people who'd been at this for years. We had people who said, I just need to know more about what this is all about. And so we gave them a hands-on, foots-in experience like none other. At one point, this one student, we'll call him our guest, because at retreats, we don't call them attendees. They're our special guests. He had convinced his dad not only to drive him from the house to the retreat center in Corbett, but to bring 30 gallons of his aging water with him.
Well,
Very, very understanding dad. Kudos
yeah.
to dad. And at one point, we put about 8 gallons in um, a baby bathtub. No, excuse me, a swimming pool where you dip your feet in.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we had
yeah.
five.
Yeah.
We had a wading pool.
Huh.
We had 5 people all sharing the water together with our feet in the water, and it was a communal setting. It was loads of fun.
Oh my God, how old was his then? I guess it was like a year, I'm guessing.
I'm going to say he had nothing less than 2 years.
Oh my God, what heaven. What a sacred, spiritual, dare I say it, thing to share with your with not with your partner, sorry, with people that go to 10. That's amazing.
Yes. And
Oh,
so we got to give each other Orin massages of people that were up for that. We did a lot of private foot soaks, just a conversation, but it wasn't just about Orin and using Shivambu. It was about reclaiming your body, mind, and your life's purpose.
got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's so cool. Massaging each other and all that stuff. I love massaging. I've done some of my hair. I've had the first opportunity in a long time to do the aged urine head rubs on the hair because I'm starting to figure now because it's so old, it doesn't smell. This is okay. And it's making the hair, it makes the hair really, it's the best. It's truly the best conditioner of hair ever, the aged. It's amazing.
And shampoo, yes.
Yeah,
Two in
and
one.
shampoo, and well, if we're going to go there, every single thing under the sun is taken under the sun, right? Even sun cream.
Yep. And oops, come back, come back. Where'd you go?
Oh, I'm here.
I'm
Yeah.
here. For all our brothers and sisters that are in that age group of silver grayish hair coming on, every time you start putting Orin on your hair, it gets darker.
Oh, interesting observation. So I'll keep doing this now and notice to keep my hair as light as possible. Because actually, I've been getting some criticism, fair enough, that my hair's receding. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm really focusing now on this. And I've noticed already it's starting to grow back. So because the aged urine has stem cells or whatever you believe, because there's debates, isn't it? I don't even think it's the stem cells, by the way. It's the real magic of the aged. But yeah, there's something to it that it regrows hair and it regrows. I mean, even if you were to cut your finger, do you know Lee Alkali's? I think you know Lee Alkali's, right?
Yes, I do. We've talked before.
So one of his stories is he cut his finger. This was back in the day, 5 years ago or something. He had his finger chopped off for an accident here, and he put aged urine in a gauze like every day for a few weeks or months, and it literally regrew. It literally, the finger regrew from the aged urine.
Right. And people are seeing rather quick responses to the use of this water. Now, I know we may talk about the enzymes here in a little bit, but compared to something that's just going in and working on the intestines and the elimination organs to something that you could put on a scratch, a bite, a bug sting, whatever, and see the immediate turnaround, that's up there in the miracle category for me.
Yeah, holy. I mean, I don't know about you, but my life's changed. I think it's fair to say that your life is completely transformed due to your own holy waters. Completely.
Yeah, and little did I know when I wrote my first book, by the way, I was having sentimental moments about you and I, because when we both kind of like at the same 2018 stage of our life, produced and published, wrote and published our first book.
Right, around the same time too. Yes. Yeah.
And when that hit, my life was never the same. My career went 100%, 110% urine therapy, talking. I was on 50 radio shows, 3 television shows. I mean, things were like going nuts. I didn't even have a personal assistant. So I'm going, oh, this is why I'm here. Okay.
Yes. So that book, you're writing your book, really dug you into a deeper, not awareness. You already knew all that you knew. A deeper. It kind of pushed you more into it, like really deeply involved. You were never going to back out. I know what you mean. Same with me. That book for me is the same. I was like, okay, urine. I am the urine guy. Because, people look at us, I guess, as this is the way the world is. People look at you and they think of one thing, right? You're a multi-dimensional, awesome person that knows a load of stuff. But online, people will look at you and think, oh, yeah, Brother Sage, urine therapy. And that's the way the world is. So that book would have been for you. Yes, Brother Sage, urine therapy. That's what he does.
Right. So instead of just being the pee gurus, like you and I are the pee gurus, um, I've noticed that the urine therapy is it's making a crossover into other groups and other studies and other belief systems. One that I find fascinating is the freedom lovers, the freedom fighters, and the patriots, the ones that are putting out the true news, trying to get that out into the world. Well, they're talking about everything that's been suppressed and all the truth that's been hidden from us. And one of the things that we were lied to back in 1913 when the Rockefellers decided to start an establishment to control health industry worldwide, that's when they started, by the way, that's when they started demonizing against alternative healthcare practices. Urine therapy took the hit, but you
Yeah.
couldn't shut it up because it was the indigenous people that kept it under the radar.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. So why do you think that? I mean, because you've read Martha Christie's book, Your Own Poet Medicine. There were studies in science from the 30s, 40s, even mainstream science, and then it kind of stopped. And I think you've nailed a bit on the head. Definitely 1913, the farmer to the allopathy, the allopathy from the natural. But why did it just disappear, all the studies? Because now there's nothing on it. There's no new studies for a long
They
time
have
now.
not they have not disappeared. There's a deeper dive we have to take. And that's
Right.
going to require us to have conversations with the elder urine therapy teachers in India and in Africa and in Germany, where they still have millions of practitioners keeping this alive.
Yeah, and that's a good answer to it. It's more underground, but definitely I was referring to the mainstream aspect of you don't see any more in the mainstream. Yes, you have to go to the real truth, the urine, you have to go deeper because on the surface, can I ask you as well? I think I know the answer, but I want to ask it. Do you think it's deliberate, this urine, this waste idea that we're programmed to at birth, it would seem? Do you think it's deliberate or an accident?
It's deliberate, like a lot of things that were pulled over our eyes to keep us from knowing this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I tend to
I
agree.
mean, you would kiss off big pharma in the medical industry if everybody could heal themselves and would walk away from supplements and vitamins and drugs. That would change the whole paradigm.
Yes, exactly. Another question just popped into my mind. Can you walk through quickly a day in the life of Brother Sage relating to urine? So do you do it every day? And if you do, what's on average? Because I know someone's going to ask that question. Someone always does. How much do you drink? What do you do on a day? A typical day.
Okay, say if I'm not looping or fasting, I will drink at least 2 quarts. All right, I found, and you guys might want to pay attention to you guys watching this. If you get up first thing in the morning, instead of going the lemonade fast and all these special fasts and stuff, down a whole quart of your urine, whether it's fresh or aged, and within an hour, sometimes it's half an hour, be near a toilet.
Yeah.
Because the effect on your whole GI system is phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the first reactions I ever had. I got like a massive diarrhea for 2 days. The first time I drank fresh urine from tap water, heavy underload. So it's really good for constipation if you're and you know what? This ties into what we're going to talk about, but I do think
Okay.
most people are constipated, severely constipated. And it's because of a lack of quality water. And your own water is your own quality water, whether that be fresh or aged. So when they receive that, all of a sudden the bowels start opening up and you lose that constipation factor.
Right. Now, the reason people get sick, and I can explain why we're constipated, there's only 2 reasons people get sick. You know what they are? It's either what you eat or what's eating you.
Hmm.
And if you're not dealing with the emotional and the psychological counterpart, then you're going to be stuffing a lot more than food in your gut. So that people are willing to do the processing to clear their belief systems, their patterns and thinking, do a much better cleanse and a much better liberation from sickness and illness.
I like that. And also it's stress, isn't it? I mean, all the emotional blockages and stuff cause cortisol and stress, which impedes the relaxation of the bowels, I guess, and the normal function of them. So if the a colon's all tight and stressed, the whole body is, yeah, guess what?
Right.
You're going to be constipated. Right.
Right. And because of the fake demic of 2020 and all the nonsense that was thrown at us, a lot of people, knowingly or unknowingly, are on guard.
Yeah.
They're trying to find navigate through life. They're trying to navigate through everything that's been thrown their way through media and television, and people are trying to find peace again. So a lot of people are stressed out.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this a shorter interview and go transition now to something else. Now, I didn't tell you this, but I found you. I was searching by the brother say. I think I was searching for you on YouTube because I hadn't checked your YouTube's on my recommends for a while, and I saw the last one you done was with a girl called Maddie Roberts on Zen Cleanse. Now I knew you was on the Zen Cleanse, but I watched that in full, and I loved listening to you. She's a great interviewer, by the way, but I love listening to you talk about the Zen Cleanse, and I really wanted to combine this with because I'm really happy that you're on it. I'm surprised, but happy. So tell us why, what do you know about the Zen Cleanse? Have you done it? And what do you think?
I've done 3 intestinal cleanse ones, and I just finished the 3rd liver cleanse. I've done the rainbow cleanse and the maintenance program for a month. And I got the wow factor right away with the first cleanse when the mucoid plaque rope substance came out of me the next day.
Well,
Um, and this is when bells and whistles and connected dots started happening for me. I realized the reason I wasn't putting on weight, a lot of people were watching me over the years going, Sage, you're a skinny dude. You need to, this, that, and the other thing. I'm going, it's not about food. You know, there's some other things that have to be addressed. Well,
yeah,
even though I've been doing raw foods for decades, and this is for all the raw foodies and the fruitarians, even though you changed your diet
yeah.
and you went into the fruitarian diet or you fasted or you dabbled your toes in breatharian diet, if you didn't do the deep cleanse to clean out all the material that was in your gut your entire life, it's going to haunt you until you do.
Yes. Yes. And so what you found was, I remember that bit. That was near the start of your interview, Maddie. You said that you found that you always struggled to put on weight, even though you were clean with your diet. And now with the Zen Cleanse, you started noticing changes where you could maintain and put on weight with the
Yeah.
Zen Cleanse.
Yes, yes. And after doing another liver cleanse, I noticed how many gallstones were coming out of me. I'm going, gallstones, mucoid plaque. This is not like, made up extraterrestrial conversation. This is real stuff. This is not mythology. And it's
Right.
so common in humanity, people don't realize that seems to be more common than the concern of parasites.
Right. And there's a paradox here because I mean, just listening from an audience perspective, who probably most of them would have heard of urine therapy through us, and most of them have heard of Zen Cleanse, but probably not tried it. So they're thinking in their mind, well, how come Brother Sage is now saying that stuff was coming out, or that this urine that he's been doing every day, as we talked about, and you do, hasn't done enough to make you, example, put on weight or to do the stuff that this is doing. So they might be confused. Try and help them explain what's the difference between, because we love urine, we always will, but why did urine not do the things that Zen Cleanse is doing in this case?
Well, first, let me say that it's a great question, and these are two complementary protocols, two complementary health practices. So, even though everybody's been watching me talk on and on about urine therapy being the greatest gift from God ever, to start talking about a product, well, there's a reason I'm doing this. It's because I'm a product of the product, and I've seen the transformation that occurred to me. I've seen my face get younger, the energy return. I've had people say, you don't sound so mad like you used to. And so,
It just, yeah.
yeah, when the liver starts to clear out, and the things that have inflamed the liver, which comes from inflamed emotions, uh, you come back to center.
Yeah, I love that. When I did the intestine one, I've only done one and one, by the way, and I've got another one to do in December when I get back to UK. But when I did the intestine one, 3 days after, my issue is social anxiety around people who don't know. So I'm always in fight or flight somewhat, and I'm managing it. But I noticed I was really so noticeably much calmer around people I didn't know. That the fight or flight had gone down, way down. It reset my nervous system, is what I'm saying. To a degree that aged urine enemas or aged urine copious amounts had never really done. Although I love them and I can feel the difference to them too. So it really shocked me. I'm like you. I'm a big fan of Zen Cleanse only because of the power of what I've seen doing one and one of each. Not just in the toilet, in how I act in my day to day since I done those events.
Right. And you'll notice your relationship, guys that are watching this, you'll notice that your relationship with food is going to change dramatically. What's so neat about doing a cleanse, whether it's the Zen 1 cleanse or the liver cleanse, and I can't wait to get the lungs and the lymphatics and the rest of those cleanses.
Me too.
Yay, inspire. Is that somewhere around 5 or 6 in the afternoon, it occurred to me I wasn't hungry. I didn't crave food. I didn't go to my go-to foods, no matter what it was. And it was nice to feel, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Confident enough that the enzymes were feeding me.
Yeah, I felt that too, actually, a few days after. I felt like a reset where I didn't need to eat food. Can I ask you, because this is a personal question I want to know, actually. So I heard you talk with Maddie about, I've only tried the two. I want to now get the enzymes, the maintenance ones. So you said you're on Detox X. And how do you take them? And do you feel different with the other stuff that's not the flagship? So you've tried a few of the others.
Yeah, so the maintenance cleanse is the black vacuum, the fiber, and the quantum particles, and a detox S drink.
Got you. And you take them in water, urine? I
You
mean,
take Well, you could take them in urine, but they don't. That company, for some reason, didn't write that in the instruction booklet. I don't know what's with you guys. They recommend you take warm water that's just warm enough, like a bath water, but not enough to either burn your tongue or damage the enzymes.
How funny. Yeah, I love
So,
the warm water. I'll tell you a quick story. When I did the liver one, which I did before the intestines, I'm one of the few people that got it the wrong way around,
mhm.
being me. But actually, it was a divinity because I have short-sighted eyes, and we know from TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, eyes is liver. So I got a vaccine at 13, which literally made me short-sighted a few months after. What a coincidence! So basically, my liver's toxic. I did the liver cleanse, but here's the thing: I didn't do it with warm water, brother Sage. I did it with pasteurized. This is bad. If anyone's watching me, forgive me. I am a detox health coach, but sometimes I don't. I'm not perfect. I took the liver protocol with pasteurized juices that were cold, and I got results that blew my eyes. My eyes came back online by itself for 20 seconds. And again, no urine had ever done that. And I was like, what? I've done it wrong. I haven't even done the warm water. And it still works.
Right. You can't mess up. And I know a lot of people in the Zen community are anal retentive about you got to follow the schedule to the letter. This is at 10 o'clock, at 10:30, 11 o'clock. And the other day, now I took off to the hot springs. I've been living the retreat lifestyle for the last year and a half, just going from retreat to retreat and being able to stay in calm mode while the world's doing its thing. I found that even just following my intuition to take this powder at this time of day and this powder this time of night
Hmm.
was I still got results. I was still getting massive amount of eliminations throughout the day, and it didn't follow the schedule.
I like that. Yes, I like that. I like that. Because I would even think in my head I could double up on two sachets. I miss an hour. What's the deal? As long as I get all the sachets in, and even if it's a 1 or 2 hours delay. Yeah, I like that. Follow your intuition. Although, yes, if you follow the protocol, if you don't want to rely on intuition, you're going to get results. But one thing we must add to people though is you do need a day, right? And you've also said in the other video, you need to be by a toilet. Is that fair for the intestines and liver?
Maximum benefits will come if you can just set aside 2 days out of your calendar.
Oh, nice.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
one day is all day following the schedule at the hour, half hour, blah blah blah. The next day is where the first half of the day is toilet time. And so you need the rest of the day to integrate and stay present enough with your body if more things want to be released that you're not giving it a chance to release.
Yes, I
So
like
if you
that.
have to run, if you have responsibilities and obligations and you're running off for this, that, and the other thing, you're not paying attention to the cleanse or to your
Yeah,
body.
I like that. So one day to focus on doing the protocols, and the second day to be aware of bowel movements because they're going to rush. Funny enough, I did all mine. Everyone's different. I did my mucoid. My intestines all came out hour 16 to 18 of the first day, and it was loads, like 16 times. I think you said you went to the toilet a lot of times too. In your
14,
how many? 14.
14.
Wow. Yes. And also, I don't know if you took pictures. Maybe next ones I will, but I didn't take the pictures.
I did, and I took pictures of the plaque. I took pictures of the fat. I took pictures of the gallstones. And after a while, I'm going, I really don't need to keep showing that on the internet. That's enough. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, but we love it though, don't we? Everyone watching this is going to love it.
I know we're in a whole other reality. People think it's cool to drink pee and look at your shit. I'm going, this is great. We're doing good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like you. I can't wait to try all the products. But I mean, I'll speak for myself. I think I'm lifelong on it and I want to be doing it once. Do you believe that so they say 3 or 4 to completely clean it. Is that what you believe too? Like 3 or 4 mucoid plaques is what we call a complete reset. I think everyone gets a result from one. But I mean, what's your beliefs on how many you need? If that's
Everybody gets results, but until you really feel that your body is yours again and you don't have any pain or discomfort in your lower bowel, like the sigmoid area, or in your rectum or in your gut anywhere, then I would say you've gotten to that point. But for the most people, I would say just follow your intuition. If you need to do 4, do 4. If you need to do 5, Maddie or somebody did like 10. I'm going, okay, they're listening to their body and they definitely got the money and they're
yes.
doing. I mean, I must have spent $1,500, $2,000 so far. I'm going, what's that compared to having your life back?
Yeah, exactly. Because this is a great argument, and I hear it all the time. And I really want to healthily, high vibrationally push people towards when they give you that retort of, oh, but it's so expensive. But then you're not really thinking about if something genuinely is super powerful, is it actually that expensive? Because I would probably pay 2 or 3 times the price of that for the results I've seen so
Yeah,
far.
Yes, and ask them the question, what are you spending money on now that's making you healthier?
Right. Or more
What are
like
you spending money what are you spending money on
yes.
now that's not making you healthier?
I was going to say that. Yes. So, yeah. What are you really spending? Is it those mainstream coffees? Is it the, I don't know, the junk food, all this stuff? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So when you really realize that you haven't been loving and honoring and acknowledging your sacred temple, your body, and you start moving in that direction, then your priorities change, and you don't reach for the junk food, you don't reach for the bad habits, the addictions, and all that like you used to. And this is where, like even in the Bible, they're talking about a rebirth of the person, and
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
doing that with these items.
I feel like the Zen cleanse to me has been both of them have been rebirths. I don't know what the others are going to be like, but I've literally the thing, another thing as well, they say you know the manuals, they say the emotions obviously are connected. So the liver's connected to emotions, anger, and the intestines is connected to emotions, but you feel so different. It's like you get a reality shock of actually the organs are connected to emotions. You can feel it when you do the Zen cleanse before and after. You feel these emotions go, you feel something so different. You start to wake up to the fact that every organ is connected to the emotions.
It is. It is. So I wanted to say something about. I mean, I wrote this article. You have a copy of it, and anybody else can read it. Is the comparison and of urine therapy to Zen Cleanse? Why do I consider these complementary? Well, you've got one that was a product that's made. Listen to the subtlety of this. The enzymes were a product made for, given to the body. The urine is made by the body
Mm.
for the body.
Hmm. Mhm.
So energetically, you're talking about here's another substance that's outside of your body. I'm not trying to say yes or no about it because I'm in love with Zen Cleanse, but it's another something outside of you you're giving to you when your body itself is producing this perfect medicine for you.
Ah, yes. So your body produces the enzymes, and I think the aged urine is fair to say probably for the enzymes already in fresh multiply, like I believe the stem cells do. So there's a load of enzymes. But if I'm being real, and I like to compare still at this stage of my journey, there's probably more enzymes in the fermenter in the Zen cleanse, if people can believe this. There's more enzymes than even 10-year-old aged urine. That's what I
Mhm.
feel from the
Yeah,
way that you go to the toilet.
right, right. And the urine uh, has a history that's beyond enzymes. I posted this fact that enzymes were only discovered by a French chemist in 1833. And he found one enzyme, and that spun off to all the enzyme research and digging deep into the enzymes and the life force of food. But Shivambu goes back 5,000 years of recorded history through the Dhamara Tantra, which tells me that if you're going to write up something and record it, it's been practiced years before it was ever documented.
Yes. It goes way back, doesn't it? We've got the Shivambu, the Buddha talked about it. My last book was on the Buddha because I think the Buddha used it for enlightenment personally, although some people don't believe that, and that's okay. But he did write about it in the Pali Cavan. We've got the Shivambu. We've got loads of people around the world practicing urine. I mean, if you think about it, Brother Sage, it's crazy to me that Westerners are like really, there's loads of Westerners that we know on Facebook and social media. And then what about the ones that don't even too scared to do it on social media that are Western? The Western culture's kind of doing it a lot now. These ancient Eastern practices.
Yeah, well, that kind of started with Yogananda and when he brought yoga to the West in the 1950s. And now you look at how much people are doing yoga. I mean, I'm in Boulder, Colorado, and there's like a yoga uh, studio every 4 blocks in this town. And, everybody's brothers down at the park with a yoga mat stretching their bodies back and forth. So urine is moving in that direction as fast as possible.
Yeah, I love it. And lastly, I'd say that what do you think about the movement? Have you, because you've been in this longer than me, so have you seen it grow? Does that inspire you? And what kind of things do you want to involve yourself with urine in the future that you're not doing now, or that you are doing now that you want to tell us that you're really with the urine?
Well, what does it tell the readers if when we have a retreat known as the Shivambu retreat, and I had a lot of mind talk about going, well, I'm a wellness practitioner. We're teaching overall wellness. Why do I want to focus on the urine aspect of it? But as I sat with it and I realized keeping it the name of Shivambu retreat, 13 people showed up, all who practiced urine therapy,
13.
right? Yeah, the first one we had 11. and then it jumped up to 13. People were flying in from across the country. We had a guy who drove from California to pick up Matt Senna in
Huh.
Kansas City, to go pick up Denise in Idaho, to come to the retreat in Corbett. We had people flying in from Washington State and California, and we had people who came back for the second retreat.
Wow. Wow. Yes. Count me in, by the way, for the Puerto Rico. What was the other two? Puerto Rico, and I want to go to one.
Arkansas.
Okay. Count me in
Now
for
we bumped it up. We were doing 3.5 day retreats, and we realized that people really need to decelerate and slow down their brain and reintegrate and get to know themselves. So now we're doing week-long retreats.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So I love it. Your focus is going to be carrying on teaching people online and in the real world with urine, but also now you're doing retreats. So long ones.
Well, the big picture is the following the Shivambu Trail documentary, in which we go around the world with a photographer, a camera person, and a personal assistant. I got to have my personal assistant, and I think I found her. And we go all around and document people's stories and testimonials and transformations and discoveries, and put together the next generation of the Urinade movie. Remember Stephen?
I do. Yes. Yeah.
Stephen Williams out there in Australia, he did the Urinate. Well, it's time to bring it up to 2020 to 2023 standards.
Oh, what great work. Yes, please. Does it have to be in person? Can we do videos for people that can't make it in person?
Brother, we're in the technology of communication. Whatever it takes, we'll do it.
Okay.
Anae, you might know who Anae Madrid is. She
Yeah.
was the organizer for the Portland retreat, and she had set up with a Wi-Fi service in this cabin. We brought you and Tuche and a bunch of people who are going to be guest speakers, including Bunmi Samola, and everybody was on standby. And then we lost the freaking signal, so we had to improvise.
Oh, no way. You lost the signal. Oh, God. That's good.
So I mean, either way, we have enough recorded, so we have clips that we can edit and put together, so that people who missed it, they can do a pay-per-view and watch it and be part of
Oh, I
it.
like that. So you set up a system where people can watch and replay the ones before, and of course the ones in the future you have set up. So if they're not live, they can, like a paid product where they can rewatch the event basically without being there. That's good.
Right. The idea is to tease them with what they missed.
Yes. I think you're going to tease me pretty good because I want to come to them in person if I can next year. I know I can. So
The thing that is so near and dear to me is you create best friends from life. You see them in person. Like you, when you went out to these different countries, man, you were picking up friends left and right. I'm going, that's life. That's the way it should be done. And people are opening up to each other. People are sharing their deepest secrets, their pain, whatever it is they need to go through, because they go there not only to be healed physically, but to be liberated and to find their way again. So we set a stage so that people can do breathing together, do one-on-one processes. At one point, Katie, who's now, you got to look for her, she's calling her new show called The Golden Stream.
oh, nice. Yep.
Right? She was teaching yoga. She did iridology and read people's eyes. She brought this very
Oh,
expensive, high-powered camera to look at our eyes.
oh.
We also did chanting and kirtan by an open fire at night. And at night, to move our ass, we danced.
You know what I love about all you're doing? It's called creating memories with community and things that we do together. And that's what I'm all about, connecting people, but creating memories, because you're doing different things together that you've never done before, or you've done by yourself, and now you're doing it with other people. So it's amazing what you're doing. And thank you, Bro Sage, for this. Is there any last message you'd like to leave people? Because I know we're running out of time on this thing too.
Yes. Drink of yourself, trust your intuition, love whatever arises in your experience, because your ego is going to have a fit when things don't play out the way you think it's supposed to play out. So this is the clearing of fear, is learning that you face everything that shows up in your experience. It wasn't real in the first place, but your mind made up something to scare you, and we can stop doing that. Now, if you keep drinking your urine, you're going to get those nutrients that bring a calmness to your emotions, your body, and your mind. So stay with your water. You can't go wrong.
I love it. Thank you, Brother Sage, and thank you everyone for watching this Holistic Health Harry with Brother Sage.